you know, we're doing our next segment now, which is Newnovation. Khathu, how are you? Welcome back.
Thank you, Evan. Are you good?
Nice to have you with us as always.
Yes.
What have you been up to, you guys at Newnovation of late?
Besides flying around and traveling, it's good to,
yeah, I've seen Geneva and everywhere else.
Germany and Berlin, all that and more.
It's a tough old grind, you know. Somebody's got to do it, though.
There's great stuff that has happened here. There's a lot of good news that are coming out of Africa.
Yeah.
There's a lot of great things that we constantly need to be updating you. So it's good to be here. We love it in the morning, as you know. We
love it in the morning, man. That's going around the world now. But now, I see the one thing that you guys are dealing with is Mzansi Innovators, Chris Porter's drug sign, a mobile application that helps detect if someone is using drugs based on signs and symptoms.
Yes.
This is really worrying for a lot of people in the workplace because, you know, we know the problem that they have in the corporate world. Now, if the boss is going to test you, you're causing consternation with this.
I think most importantly, Urban, it's more of an advancement onto something that is already existing.
Yeah?
Besides the fact that people do blow on that gadget that people are blowing into, we're now moving into a place where it might not be as intrusive as blowing onto that measure. But this time around, you've got a guideline and an app that will then help you to start looking at some of the symptoms. And you are then able to realize if this and this is happening using that particular app.
Yeah.
It can then be able to recommend that perhaps this could be happening, that could be happening. It is quite conclusive to an extent where you could realize that a high percentage, or when it was being tested, they found that indeed the app was quite correct. So it was developed by scientists and people that have got an understanding of behavioral changes of people that are using drugs per se. Yeah.
So, you know, this have wonderful applications for parents, schools, the like, and it is a South African idea.
Yes, it is. Chris Porter is one of the guys that we've got at the New Innovation Hub in Pretoria, and he's doing very well. I mean, the kind of work that they're doing is very real, and it's based on the reality, what is happening. You do not want to wait when you find your child being a junkie. I mean, these days we've got Nyaupe. I don't think we need Chris's app for Nyaupe.
No, you can just see. You can just look them in the eye because they've got that wild look in the eye. You know?
And when you come back home, you find the fridge is gone. You know,
hey, my son.
On Nyaupe.
Yeah, no, there's a lot of that. It's, you know, we might have a giggle about it, but it's a real problem that we have in our society.
We've put it on. It's on the website. Everybody can go and look at it and get more understanding.
Drug Sign. It's a mobile app called Drug Sign.
Drug Sign.
And you can see if your child or if the children that you're looking after are taking drugs. So Chris Porter's Drug Sign is a mobile app that you should, well, all parents should really think about this. I'm thinking about that now. My son's only 13. Anyhow, Falling Walls Lab. Lab is a wrap-up of the Falling Walls conference that was held in Berlin. That was one of your latest travels.
Yes.
I want your life, man.
Not as exciting. I'm jet-lagged constantly, but thank God it's holidays. There's three winners that came out, and I'm glad to report that two of them are African. The third place was a guy from Pretoria called Dylan Randall. He's working for a nice big company out in Pretoria. He developed a system that cleans wastewater through crystallization. Eclectic crystallization. So it actually took Germany by storm and everybody else by storm, and it's currently being tested on its own plant. He's just waiting for some bit of funding for it to come out. But that kind of system or invention that is come up with cleans water in such that out of the wastewater, over 80% of the water you will be able to get it back. So in terms of wastewater, mining wastewater, in terms of acid-based water that is running are under Johannesburg, that is the kind of stuff that we're looking at. And if you look at areas like Kiani and the Kuruman areas where there's no much water, that kind of invention will then be used to be able to clean wastewater and push it back to the reticulation system of the country.
That would be massive here in Joburg,
Yes.
especially with
Yes.
you know the messes that the mines have made and the like.
True. The second one, Eben, just a quick one. The second one is a lady called Narima. She's from Egypt. She's about to replace needles. Yeah? For type 1 diabetic patients.
Yeah.
Instead of using needles, they're using a blue light, yeah, and using it on the body such that that blue light uses the fat cells on your body to be able to release insulin that is needed.
Wow.
For the sake of you getting your insulin injection in the morning. So that is the kind of stuff that came out of the Berlin falling wall. And it's quite exciting to realize that Africans are taking the world by storm. The last one is a guy who developed a glove, sort of an app which is connected to a glove, where the deaf and the blind, instead of them just talking and you guessing what are they really saying, the app actually translate what the signs are saying. So it means that it gets to talk and communicate exactly what the deaf or blind person is trying to say to you. So that is a very good innovation that came out of Berlin when we were there. Yeah.
Tell us about the Blog Awards. We just saw on screen there that Nunovations been nominated for the South African Blog Awards. But before we go talk about yourself winning, tell us about the Blog Awards itself.
The Blog Awards has been running for a few years now. Over the past few years, they realized that the blogs are actually taking over the digital age, and it's better for us for them to continue to start realizing what these guys are doing. And over the past few years, we've seen institutions like News 24. There's been quite a number of institutions that have actually gone and won this kind of awards. So, but now this year we're starting to see more and more unknowns and young upcoming bloggers coming on board and actually being nominated for this. This seeks to recognize and reward such kind of blogs or websites or portals or platforms that are doing well in informing the nation and actually getting the information that the nation requires, that it needs speedily.
Now, what Nunovation does is very much what Newsroom does. We try and celebrate what is good in Africa and share that with the nation and the continent.
I think there is the kind of relationship that we've got here, whereby we're saying what we do as Nunovation, let's come and share, and what you guys share, the good news all the time that we've seen coming out of this platform, is what we're sharing. So I guess our nomination seeks to celebrate that and saying, if you like what we're doing, if you like what Newsroom is doing, come and vote for us and let us win.
Wonderful. Now tell us quickly before I let you go, what does the next year look like for Nunovation, and what can the viewers be looking forward to, and people who interact with your blog?
The next year is looking very good. I've just been nominated now onto the board of the South African Innovation Network. People should go and follow it. It is a network of innovators across the country. So we're going to be building up a lot of activities that will be focused on how to build innovators in Africa, mostly in the Southern Africa. We're looking at probably going and having more and more events on the ground and getting more and more young people that can come and start writing and start communicating the stories from their own communities that we can be able to publish. There's a lot of great things happening, but as time goes on, we shall be in a position to talk about it.
That's the future. User-generated content platforms is where it's all going to be at. We think we're going to be partnering with Nunovation to bring that to you next year. But Khathu, thank you for joining us. That's Khathu Mashao, who's the founder of Nunovation here in South Africa.